Welcome to Film Bites, the podcast where a lad and his dad talk about films they've just watched.
Mancunian Man, the legendary life of Cliff Twemlow. What do you think, Jack?
To be honest with you, I thought that was a very well put together documentary. Prior to this, I have never heard of the name, and we both questioned it to see if it was maybe like a kind of parody or maybe some kind of jokey documentary. And actually, it's reality. It's an actual person, and just delving into his life, really, and seeing how he became this film star, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, full disclosure, I know a bit about Jake West, who is a cracking talent. And what he's managed to do here is to put together this it's almost a love letter to this infamous character. We get to see a very well put together documentary. It's quite lengthy. It's about 2 hours, but it doesn't feel lengthy because of the amount of stuff that he's got to put into it. It starts off from a point where I actually knew some of his musical works, Cliff Twemlow, but I didn't know anything about the movies. I do remember back in the 80s seeing GBH on the shelves of a video store before they were all banned and taken off.
Yeah.
But that's really it. And so to kind of have fresh eyes, seeing how one guy and his enthusiasm and desire manages to formulate this low-budget film industry. You get the highs, you get the lows. There seems to be a lot more lows than highs. But what also is fascinating is this circle of friends that he seems to have got around him to produce all these things. It's clear that he must have been an impressive, magnetic character to be around, and certainly that oozes from this film. It's just a lovely, lovely documentary that celebrates everything about this guy.
Absolutely. I mean, to say all the hiccups and turns on the road that always kept happening with the productions of the films that he was working on is incredible to me that these people have stuck with him for so long, bluntly, in an industry such as, movie making in Hollywood and anything of the sort. If there was so many U-turns on production, I think a lot of people would have left by that point. But with this, it's very different because it's a smaller production and it's almost like a family, if you will. And because of this, the family sticks together. It becomes more of a passion project rather than, I'm in it for the money or I'm just trying to get my acting job in here. It's a bit of fun. It was really nice to see how the cast were talking about this guy. It's funny because everything they were talking about, you can see it exuberate on the screen as well. It was very clever in that depiction, but also I felt like you got to know him quite well as well. So the documentary's absolutely done its job incredibly well there as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think this guy was almost a British equivalent of, not in the kind of horror-y way, but the way Lloyd Kaufman has delivered Trauma in the States, this machine of pushing out these very low-budget films. Cliff Twemlow was a kind of British version of that, trying to push out these actioners. I mean, you can tell the ambition. I mean, some of the people that he got involved in his work, I mean, he nearly got Joan Collins involved.
Until the media.
He nearly got, he did get Fiona Fullerton involved, which is quite comical. He got Oliver Tobias, who was a big name at the time. It's crazy that just one of these little things, if it had dropped properly, might have been completely the change to his life and career. No, I think what Jay West has done here, he's put together a really, really beautiful story of his life. I liked sometimes the little animations that were during each piece. Now, full disclosure, that's from Ashley Thorpe, who did the amazing Borley Rectory movie a couple of years back. And it's just this breeding talent nature of this story to see the way that it all builds and rises and falls. It's really quite moving as you get towards the end, I thought. I don't think there's anybody that could have put this together better than Jay West.
I agree. I think that it had heart all the way through. Even in the downbeat moments of the movie, I should say documentary, you still felt a little bit of hope in it. Yeah. Which I found in a lot of ways, I think a lot of other documentary makers would heavily go into that downbeat moment.
Yeah,
to make you feel that sense of, defeat.
Like the Amy documentary.
Yes, which Capadia was much, he was definitely on the side of Amy in that documentary. And I also think when she was in her lowest moments, so was the audience. And what was so interesting with this one was that even in the lowest moments, you still felt that sense of hope that, it'll be all right. he'll get back up. And even at the very end of this documentary, you still have a nice smile on your face about certain things. And it's rare that you see documentaries like that, because it's always the audience must feel this. But it's very much your own impression of the person, but they also give you an idea, and it makes you put those pieces together in your own way. And you really get to know the guy through this documentary.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Mancunian Man, The Legendary Life of Cliff Twemlow is a bit of a triumph.
If you've enjoyed our podcast, please consider liking and subscribing for future episodes. Smash the like notification bell if you're on YouTube. Your support means the world to us. Please help us spread the word to grow the podcast. Until we meet again, film biters, we'll be watching. Will you?